everyone. Welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So, on our continued search for a good summer blend, we've decided to try Vaughn's Morning Mixture. This is in their Shire series, and this particular one, the Morning Mixture, is entitled The Hobbit. So this is it's branded by Vaughan. It's manufactured by Kohlhaas and Kopp, which is one of the ones that we've been hitting quite a bit. Yep. It's an aromatic. It's got black Cavendish, Burley, and Virginias in it. The cut is mixture of ribbons. It does have flavorings in it. It's a mild flavoring, but it's got coffee flavored, Mirabelle, which is kind of a plum flavoring, and then some vanilla. Strength on this is mild, and we'll talk about some other things as it goes along. So anyway, what's your thoughts on this one, guys? Starting with tin note.
The tin note is extremely pleasant.
I would agree with that. There's a lot going on. There's like a slight chocolate kind of smell to it. You get a little bit of that dark fruit kind of scent, like a plum kind of scent. So, and it's a really pleasant tin note right out of the box. What about you, Nader?
Yeah, it smells really good. I mean, it's just really inviting.
Smells really good.
It smells good. This is yummy. It's very inviting. It's very pleasing. I think it's very fruity notes forward.
Yeah.
Very, very fruity forward.
Yeah,
I don't get the coffee as much as I want to.
You get a lot of the fruit flavors. I get a little chocolate in that smell. I get a little vanilla, marshmallow kind of scent. You don't get hardly any tobacco scent in this at all.
Yeah.
It's mostly topping. It's going to be almost all toppings in it. But yeah, it smells a lot like, to me, some other blends that I've tried. It's very Danish.
Yeah.
It's a very Danish kind of smell. And Stanwell Vanilla is very similar to this tin note. And then I used to smoke something way back in the day when I first started smoking about 37 years ago called Tivoli. And I used to get that at the Tinder Box. I don't even know if the Tinder Box is still out there right now, but I used to get it at the Tinder Box, and that was my smoke when I first started. So a lot of similarities to that. Anybody else got anything to add about the tin note?
No, I think we touched just about everything on the tin note.
It is a little moist.
Yeah, I think so.
It
came to us pretty moist too.
Yeah, we cracked this open about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And even now, it's still. Today I let it sit for about 4 hours.
Goodness.
Open. And even now I'm feeling just still a little moistness to this. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what do you guys think about the taste?
Let's go ahead and start with Ian because I think he's the one really enjoying this.
Yeah.
Get our local Arrow's opinion.
Yeah, initially, whenever I first smoked it, this is my second time smoking it. The first time I smoked it, I wasn't getting too much off the bat. Mm-hmm. This time, I feel like I'm getting more I don't know. You were saying that you had felt like you tasted the prune a little bit right off the bat earlier, and I'm getting a little bit more, but I feel like I'm getting more of the coffee now out of nowhere off the bat. Yeah, I don't know. And
second light up, maybe?
the second light up, that's where the Mirabelle always comes in for me. It always just right down the middle of the bowl, right there. It's a good little hint of the flavor.
You know, I get a little bit of the chocolate and the caramely kind of creamy taste.
I get,
to it.
the creaminess. But it's really fruity.
For the most part, though, you get the fruity and like just a little bit of a sour, like not sour, that's not the right word, but a tangy fruit taste, like on the exhale for me. That's where I was getting, just the fruit taste.
And there it is on the second relight.
Yeah.
I definitely get a lot of the plum flavoring.
Yeah.
Mixed in there, I also get a little bit of a dark cherry taste in there.
Yep.
Little bit of vanilla. I don't get hardly any of the chocolate taste.
Really?
No.
I don't really taste much chocolate. I don't taste hardly any coffee.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
that's the killer for me. I wish there was a little more coffee flavor with it being in the description.
There's a little spice in there somewhere.
Yeah, like that raisin bread spice that you get. Like the raisin toast,
cinnamony
brown sugary kind of.
nutmeg maybe. I don't know. There's like a weird kind of spice.
I don't know. I'm not a baker, so but there is. I think you said it earlier too. It's like a breadiness.
Yeah, there's a breadiness in there as well too, kind of a yeasty, bready kind of taste, which may come from the Virginias, but that's about all the tobacco taste that I'm getting on that. I get slightly a hint of nuttiness from the burleys, but not a lot. And I still, this is like about the 4th or 5th time I've smoked this, and I still get a slight chemical taste, slight artificial taste.
Yep.
And still, I'm trying to smoke it slow and take my time, which I'm doing better with that right now, and I'm getting a more pleasant smoke than when I first tried it, but still I get a little burn with it as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a numbness in my mouth.
Yeah, it's a very chemical kind of
I
taste.
think it's the numbness that really just hitting it.
Maybe that's what
felt
that bitterness.
That's what's off-putting for me.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the tin note is amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the tastes are good when that artificial part of it doesn't get in the way of it.
Yep.
You know, I like the taste overall, though. Overall, it's an enjoyable taste if you're not really into arrows and you want to try something a little bit different, maybe. It's definitely a pleasant taste.
I think you said it earlier too, Colton, that it's a quality tobacco.
Yeah.
It is a quality tobacco. So I think you also get some of the nice tobacco taste, but there's just that flavoring, a little slight chemical that I agree with that on that. It causes you to slow down your cadence. It causes you to want to pay attention to your smoke and how you might have to relight it a couple times, and that's the off-putting part to me on it. What do you guys think about the strength of this?
Earlier it was hitting a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Now that I got some food and everything in me and I'm good to go, it really is a mild.
It's
Nick
a mild aromatic
nicotine.
and a mild nicotine.
Yeah.
It's not very strong at all. It's a good all day blend.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Doesn't necessarily have to be just before morning.
Yeah, definitely.
Almost like a dessert tobacco is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Almost like a dessert tobacco. We just had some killer cheesecake, homemade. What's up? And it was this would couple really nicely. You know, just a really good dessert. End of the day.
Yeah.
Nice tobacco. I like it.
Yeah.
What about the room note?
Gosh, the room note's where it shines again, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Out of all the ones that we've had so far, it's I smell a lot more of the chocolate and the plum too coming out of it from the room note.
Yeah.
The room note, I would almost say almost smells like the tin note, which is cool because sometimes you don't get that at all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you really don't.
Yeah, but so the fact they can pull that off, that's a win.
And I think it's pretty good.
And when you do get that comparison, usually the smoke isn't as good as this one.
Right.
When you get those ones that smell like the room note, it's like, yeah, it smells good in either way, but it's just not as good as taste.
Yeah.
And this one, it kind of brings it through the whole experience.
Yep.
Yeah, the room note stays a while too. It lingers. It is pretty potent room note, but like you said, it's definitely a crowd pleaser. So you're not going to get complaints.
Yeah.
With this one. Just the moisture level on it was really wet too, and that's also one of the things because I've had to relight several times.
Yep.
You know, on the moisture level, I had a bowl of this earlier today, and I went all the way down to it. There wasn't a whole lot of dottle.
Not at the bottom, no.
It burns pretty clean for the most part, which I was kind of surprised to see that in an arrow. You know what I mean? I'm used to arrows kind of getting real sticky.
It goes back to that comment you had earlier. That's
Quality
where it probably
tobacco.
started. It's quality tobacco.
Yeah, it's the quality of the tobacco. So clean
Well,
smell.
and knowing how to pack it, knowing how to smoke it, those also take an effect as to how it's going to smoke. So, you know, if you know that you're going to, it's already a little moist, it's got a lot of toppings on it, slow it down. Don't cram it in there, you know, let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I think it'll be a better smoke for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. You know, this, to me, like I already said, I don't think this is necessarily just the morning smoke, even though it says it's a morning mixture or whatever, you know. It could be an all-day smoke.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Surprisingly enough, you know, it does burn pretty easy once you get it going. It's cool for the most part. A lot of guys, you know, there's not a lot of reviews on this out there, and what I did find, most of the comments were positive, like, you know, burns well, it's cool, doesn't leave a lot of dottle. What gets me about this tobacco is just that chemical taste to me, that artificial.
That's all it is to me, really.
And it's not necessarily extremely heavy. It's not as bad as some of the ones that I've tried before, especially American aromatics. You know, this is a typical Danish aromatic. And it's got some of that there, you know. You just have to know how to smoke Danish blends to get enjoyment out of it.
Yep, I think so too.
Also, you kind of have a little bit of a story about the availability of this guy.
Yeah, so as another comment on this, this is a pain in the butt to get your hands on.
Yeah.
I was on a waiting list for this for 2 years to get my hands on 150-gram tin of this tobacco. And it was back when I was smoking a lot of arrows and looking at some of the new, not new stuff coming out, but, you know, they had this, when I was exploring into my tobacco realms instead of just smoking what I've always smoked or what was first given to me, and that's what I keep smoking. I was looking into Lord of the Rings style smokes, pipes, things like that. Sure. I'm sure everybody's done it who's a pipe smoker. And this came up, and it was, the reviews that were on it, like Dad said, are very good reviews for it. It's high ratings. And I was really excited to try it, and I wanted to purchase it at the time, but it wasn't available. So I said, give me an email notification. And 2 years later, last month, I got a notification. It's available.
So, long wait for the
very
tobacco.
long wait.
Yeah, it's not easy to find. It's not readily available. So if you're an arrow person, you want to give this a shot. If you see it available, you jump on it.
Yeah.
There's only a few places that I've seen it listed for sale: smoking pipes, tobacco pipes, the storytellerspipe.com, boswellpipes.com. But just because they advertise it on their website doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get it.
Right.
No, that just means that they have sold it.
Yeah. So get on some email lists. And let me tell you a thing about email lists. Turbo10.com. I was looking for some Rattrays bagpipers.
Yep.
And that's another one that you just have to be at the right place at the right time to get some of that. And so I put my name on the Turbo 10 for that blend, and lo and behold, the other day shot me an email and said, hey, so and so's got it. And I was like, great. So immediately I went on that website. There it was, reasonable price. Bought me 2 tins, the limit that I could get.
Yep.
And then I came back to it the next day, which I think was maybe yesterday or this morning, and gone.
Yeah,
gone. So Turbo 10 does work.
Yeah.
You guys out there, if you're looking for a specific blend and you don't know if you can find it, get your name on that Turbo 10 email list for the blend you're looking for, and as soon as it becomes available, they'll shoot you an email, and you can get on and purchase whatever it is you like.
Yeah.
It worked for me. I am a satisfied person.
Yeah.
And the website is free.
It's completely
It's a free service. So my buddy Warren out of Austin runs that website along with one of his
nephews.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great. Get on Turbo 10, guys. Use it. It'll save you a lot of hassle. So.
You got anything else you want to add to this?
No. 50 comes in 50-gram tins.
Yep.
When you do the math, it is not cheap. It is $8.62 an ounce is what it breaks down to be. So, although it's quality tobaccos and it's the right tobacco for some people, you got to be. I think you're going to have to be an arrow person to really enjoy this one. Yeah.
Yep. And that just goes to show how much of a booger it is to get, just because. I mean, it's pricey, and I had the same thing with him. The minute it was available, I bought a can, went to it the next day, thinking, I think I'm gonna go go ahead and buy myself a 10 as well. You know, gone. Just gone.
It was like the very next day,
The
right?
very next day,
Yeah.
all of it was gone, and because everybody's the same way with it, it's really highly reviewed and then gone.
Well, I guess it comes down to what do we want to rate it now.
Yep.
So,
I say we start with. Let's start with Colton.
Start with Colton. Okay, so me typically I don't smoke a lot of arrows. Not anymore. I did whenever I was first starting out. I was a big black Cavendish guy. If it had black Cavendish, I'm smoking it. But nowadays I find myself into more Englishes because of you, more Virginias because of you, and some other stuff because, you know, I got a buddy at work that also smokes tobacco out of a pipe and everything like that. But this guy, you know, I smelled it and I was like, oh great, here we go, another arrow, and you know, we'll see what I think about it. But this one, like I said, it's got quality made tobacco in it. All the flavors are pleasant, and you know, and there's nothing really about it that's just like, you know, if you do have a bias towards arrows, this one might set you straight. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 3.
Very nice.
Yeah, I wanted to come down right in the middle with just, you know, a 2.5 because arrows, not for me really, but this one did a really good job of it, so I'd like to bump it up to a 3.
Yep. Dad, what about you?
well, when I first opened it up and took that first smoke, I was not impressed. I was not a fan. It to me, that chemical taste and that burn. So it was going to be pushing it for me to even give it a 2. I've smoked it 3 or 4 times since then, slowed down, relaxed, to, take my time with it, and it is a little bit better. But still, that aftertaste, for me, being an English smoker, and the hotness that it creates inside my mouth, along with how expensive it is.
Yep.
I'm going to give it a 2.5. It's just not the right one for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that happens.
What about you, Nader?
Me? I think I agree with you, Colton, on that. It's a quality tobacco. If you have the right cadence in your smoke and you don't mind doctoring it a little bit, you're going to get a pleasant smoke. I have smoked it a couple times before, and I will say the last smoke I've had with it was the most pleasant smoke I've had with it so far. The fruity notes came through nicely, and it didn't burn too hot, but at the same time, that smoke took me about 20 minutes longer than any other smoke I've done beforehand. So I'm going to give it a 3 on the side of saying if you enjoy it, pack it right, and you take your time with this smoke, it's going to be great. Unless you're an arrow person who just really loves smoking the crap out of an aromatic, this is a pretty decent smoke. So I'm going to go straight to a 3.
So this leads us to our arrow smoker.
Our arrow smoker of the group, Ian.
Okay, so based off of only the smoking experience, no prices, no availability, nothing like that taken into account, this one's a straight up 5 for me. It is great. I said earlier, I'm going to have to backtrack on the statement. I did say earlier that it might be better to me than Cherokee. After the second smoke, I don't know if I can say it for sure. It's up there. I can't say it's better or worse than Cherokee for me, but both of them are great. Now, taking into account the price and availability and everything for it, I would have to put this one at a 4 instead of a 5.
Okay.
The smoke itself was, for an aromatic smoker, for somebody who loves aromatics, this is it. This one is just so good. It's got the right notes, and it's just perfectly balanced for a good aromatic smoker, but just the price. In fact, you have to wait sometimes up to 2 years just to get a little tin of it, just
that
for a
was
little
just
taste.
me. I mean, maybe some other people have better connections.
I
I don't know.
Maybe somebody can get one in 30 minutes. You never know. But if that's the case, get it.
Maybe use Turbo Tin and see if it works out better for you. I did not.
Well, that averages out to like a 3.1 something.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it a 3 then?
I think
Right,
a 3.
the
I think a solid 3.
All right. So Vaughn's Morning Mixture out of the Shire series gets a 3 for 3 shots from us. What are you smoking it out of?
I am smoking out of a Missouri Meerschaum second cob pipe. Just one of their ones that didn't make the cut. I still can't figure out why.
You know those 7 days sets and that they have that are seconds sometimes? You can't beat that for the price.
Heck,
That's really a good
It
price.
breaks down to almost $2.80 a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you beat that?
Yeah. And it'll last for take care of it. It'll last for a while. Yeah. I'm smoking out of the Cobbett series, the Elf, almost like a full church warden, not quite that long.
Yeah.
But I thought it was appropriate to use this during this particular.
It's very appropriate for a Shire tobacco.
Yeah. Me, I'm just using same as you, just a Missouri Meerschaum second. Yeah, you can't really beat it. Decent sized bowl. And another thing about like cobs, I like to do tobaccos like this in cobs. You
get a more natural smoke.
You get a more natural smoke, and also if you goes to $2 and something cent pipe, not the end of the world. You know what I mean? So if you have
some penny farthing.
yeah, penny farthing.
Finish it up.
Woo! All right. Well, what are you smoking out of
It
here?
ain't ghosting anything.
I have my prized possession here, the Peterson Church Warden that I got at the 2019 Texas Pipe Show. That my father got me at the 2019 Texas Pipe Show, and you can't smoke a Hobbit or a Lord of the Rings tobacco without bringing the Church Warden in. I just feel like you got to get the Gandalf the Grey feeling into it, or Gandalf the White, whichever.
That's a different episode.
Yeah.
Whichever Lord of the Rings you prefer.
I knowing that Vauen tobaccos are manufactured by
Kohlhaas and Kopp.
Kohlhaas and Kopp, I know that it's good tobacco.
Yep.
This was just not for me. I'd like to try some other Vauen
I
products.
would too.
So I'm going to kind of keep that out. Look out for that. I know that one of our viewers was suggested that we do a Vauen tobacco, and I want to give another Vauen a shot.
Yeah, I do too.
'Cause I think in their series of tobaccos that there's a couple of there that we're really going to enjoy.
Yep.
And I mean, this one obviously was good for some of you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
So-
it wasn't bad.
Yeah, enjoyable.
All right. Well, do we have anything else we want to share?
Just continue to keep liking, commenting, and subscribing. Letting us know any kind of things you might want us to try, any kind of comments or anything like that. You might want to see something specific. Let us know. We do read the comments, and make sure you hit the notifications bell. And don't forget,
Make all your piping moments count.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you guys.
Stay safe.